Hey, what's up guys? It's Mike.
It's Dan.
It's the hipsterest wedding ever?
Yes, hipster. It's not a hippie wedding.
No.
It's a hipster wedding. What makes it a hipster wedding? Well, this couple in Tasmania, which is in off the coast of New Zealand.
It's where the devil is.
They basically got married there. They lived there. They had this wedding. Basically, if you guys don't know what hipsters are, it's a type of culture. Like in America, they get made fun of a lot because they're a minority. It's not a very mainstream thing. But in cities like San Francisco and New York, there's what's called hipster culture.
Yeah.
And it's pretty big in these cities. Like if you go to almost anywhere else, you're not gonna find a hipster. And if you do, you're like, well, that guy stands out. But in New York, it's pretty much the norm here.
Well, there's whole areas where you basically know that's where they live. So they're kind of like anti-mainstream stuff.
Exactly.
Sort of. Everything's ironic.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that's where it came from. But I feel like nowadays, like back in like the earlier 2000s or late 90s or whatever, if you meet a hipster, they might be wearing, like you said, like stranger clothes than you because like we'll go to whatever, Target, the Gap, but that's not where they shop. They go to Salvation Army, and they'll specifically go and pick out items of clothing not based on how they look, but based on sort of where it came from. It's been donated, it's free, nobody wants it, therefore I like it. Or you go home and it's decorated with vintage stuff that they found on the street from the 80s. Nowadays, just so you guys know, nowadays hipster culture, it's become it's fake now. A lot of it's fake because a lot of it now is based on materialism, and it's not based on materialism, but basically companies try to model things after that, and essentially it's lost what it is, and you pay a lot of money for these items now. One of the things is you don't pay a lot of money for these things. So I guess this couple had a wedding where everything was homemade. Yeah. So for example, they had, when you read this is definitely like some of the most hipster things, like homemade beer. All right, I have friends who literally they make their own beer. Yeah. In like a keg, and it's like they bottle it themselves, and they look like this guy right here. Yeah. They don't, it looks like they haven't showered for a week.
So everything's organic. They went barefoot all day.
It was like relaxed. It was chill.
Everything was harvested from the woods.
Not only harvested, it was foraged, like sustainably foraged. Yeah. Because you could have like harvesting that is over harvesting, right? So, but they were like, this is sustainably foraged. What that means, I don't know. Maybe they go in the forest and they
just don't take all of it.
Yeah, and don't take all of it.
And the bride made her own cake, which actually doesn't look too bad, except for, I mean, you can't eat the flowers on there, but like, I mean, it doesn't look that bad.
Oh, what if they were edible flowers? Because that's kind of that's kind of here's the one thing though I gotta say. So this is pretty like, it's a pretty cool thing to do. I do like when, and they did say, the couple was like, well, we didn't want to be the center of attention. We wanted to have a really chill day. And of course the photographs were beautiful. So the bride was like, I'm gonna have these photographs forever, for a long time to look back on. I just want to comment on basically like weddings nowadays. It's become this thing, especially in New York. Like you told me this before, where maybe in the Midwest and other places where people still have like there's normalcy. Yeah. Because you and I both shot at weddings and have been to so many countless weddings in New York City where I'm almost like so cynical now, because I've seen where it's not about the wedding, it's about the bride. It's not even about the groom anymore. It's about the bride getting just the right photos, just the right dress, just the right this and that, and it's almost like,
well, did you know that that's a culture, that's a phenomenon that doesn't really happen outside of the U.S. actually.
Really?
It's a U.S. Maybe I'm not saying only in the U.S., but they compare U.S. to Europe. Okay. And Europeans actually don't really care about half the stuff we care about.
Really?
Yeah, because for us, we spend so much money on weddings. Europeans spend they were like, well, we spend less on weddings and more on the honeymoon, which makes sense, right? You want to go on a better trip. That makes more sense.
So much more stupid day. Right. Whoa, I mean, bro, I'm with you, but we literally just offended a lot of people, right? And rightfully so. Same thing. My girlfriend, to her, it's not one day.
Wait, so your girlfriend wants the big wedding, right?
I think no, she doesn't. No. Wait, she doesn't want a big wedding. Like
No, I'm
200
not saying.
people.
Okay, no. What I mean is, she wants that wedding where the perfect dress, perfect photographer, perfect cake.
Okay, let me say this. Not quite. It's like a blend. It's a hybrid. Yes, she's very particular. So it's not. I need everything the perfect that day. It's more like I want this dress. I want this venue. I want this. Is this the difference?
So what's the difference?
What's the difference? You don't see the difference.
What's the difference?
The difference is she's not Bridezilla. Okay, she's just particular. Does that make sense?
Bridezillas are particular.
No,
That's why they're Bridezillas.
No, also
I'm not saying she's a Bridezilla. In case you're watching, but
what makes them? I'm gonna get a phone. The doors are gonna be locked later. But anyways, no. What makes them Bridezillas is they go insane about this stuff. Like you.
So you're saying if your girlfriend did not get the particular dress, flowers, whatever, she wouldn't go insane?
I don't think she'd go insane. I mean, like she wouldn't throw a tantrum.
You don't think she'd throw a tantrum?
I don't think she's gonna throw a tantrum. I think she'll live with it, and she wants to keep everything small, which is not usually Bridezilla is. She wants it low key and small. She's just particular about certain things, which I'm fine with that. We're talking about, like, we've been to so many weddings where the bride's running around, like she freaks out about any little thing, and a lot of people will be like, you know what? Let her freak out. Yeah, that's the most important day of her life. Whoa. When did it become the wedding was the most important day of your life?
No, look, wedding, this whole thing is like the diamond ring phenomenon. It's like a marketing thing that everyone cooked up. So, I mean, I bought into the hype. Like, you know, I watch all those rom-coms or whatever,
right.
Wedding planner, blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, so nowadays, all the girls, they have a dream wedding cooked up since they were 8. And they were like, I want these, I want daisies in my hair, I want the plaza. Rachel was so excited about the plaza. So, like, you know, this is part of our world now, this whole crazy wedding culture. But
yeah, I hate it. But anyways, yeah.
I want to say that I'm hopeful that the person I'm with is not like this.
Yes,
and it's gonna be very simple because to me, like, you're kind of climaxing your relationship, aren't you?
Yeah.
Where you're like, that's the ultimate zenith part of our relationship is that day.
And
it's like Monica, she's like, after her wedding, she's like, I'm married, I'm just someone's bride.
Yeah.
Okay, wasn't that the best part of the relationship is when you're together? And don't you want to spend more money? Think about this. You spend let's say you spend $100,000. $100,000 on your
which
wedding.
is kind of average in New York City, by the way.
It's very average.
Very average in
New York City, $100,000.
Easily.
Right. What if, throwing this out there, you spend $10,000?
What about $5,000?
$90,000. You know what you could do with $90,000?
Think about
You could literally put a down payment on a house.
I mean, look. We're talking about figures that a lot of people in the world can't even fathom, right? Obviously, to throw a $100,000 wedding, you need to have millions. Most people don't have millions, right? So for me, it's the principle, like you said. I mean, if you're thinking this is the most important day of your life, I'm sorry, like you're gonna find out that that's not true. Like especially if you go on to have a long and happy marriage, your children are born, your anniversaries, the milestones in your relationship, those are gonna be far. And you know what? No one takes a picture of those and blows it up that much. You might, but you know, this is almost like you want to be reminded of your.
And honestly, like, I'm sorry, but half the people get divorced.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
If you're gonna have extravagant weddings, like everybody, like at least, you know, what's the most important part of a marriage?
Right.
I think it's a vow to each other.
Absolutely.
To be faithful and to be with each other for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Isn't that the most important thing? So if that's the most important thing, shouldn't that be the highlight and not every single other thing that doesn't mean anything?
Exactly.
And after the wedding, you could be like, all right, this is stupid. I don't have a relationship. I can't believe I got married. Blah, 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 and it's over.
Right.
So like, I don't know. I just don't find it that. So whatever they did. I even felt what they did was a lot of work.
I thank you. Whoa. So I want to get back. So I want to get back to what they did. It seems like they're trying to make it. I'm not saying they. Okay, I don't know who they are, but it seems like it's interesting because usually things aren't homemade. I'm telling you right now. I'm looking at this. I'm like the only difference between this and say a New York wedding is that cake in New York would have costed $50,000. But this is a lot of work. This isn't I never
chilled. Foraged for anything before, but that doesn't sound simple.
Look, okay, home carved There's a term for that thing. It's not an altar. I forget what that's called, right? Argro. Okay, you know what I'm talking about with the home carved. This is basically a lot of work, and to me, this is not. I'm gonna say this right now, guys. I'm not saying that these couples are doing it for attention, but it is kind of unhipster-like of them. It's just kind of what I feel like in New York, where just because things are homemade, it becomes hipster. No, like if you, this is like very kind of commercialized, stylized. Her dress also, I'm trying to find out some prices because that's what really will determine like how much they spent and how much time, right? Because if they didn't spend that much time and they didn't spend that much money, I'd be like, yo, this is great. Get married, outdoorsy, have a picnic. Don't make it all about the money and what you have. But in essence, if you did make it all about this, it's the only difference is, oh, well, ours is homemade and yours is not, but you still made this the focal point. And it said that her dress was designer dress. It did not say how.
I mean, it looked nice. Dress looked nice.
It's now, it could be her friend. So this is where I'm very like, okay, it says it's a designer dress. Well, some people will be like, we all know designer dresses cost tens of thousands of dollars, right? If it did cost that, I'm throwing this out the window. I'd be like, you don't, this is not what you guys are saying.
It looked pretty
lavish,
fancy. But anyway, let us know what you guys think about this and what you guys think about the whole wedding spending a lot of money thing in the comments. Thanks for watching. And if our girlfriends are, yeah. I'm just joking. No, we're not. All right, see you later.
Later.